every industry is saturated right now. There are so many photographers, so many people who do real estate, so many people in every industry. And what really sets you apart is not, there are so many people that do a really good job at what they do. So yes, you need to do a good job, but also what's going to set you apart is your experience.
Welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast, the podcast for women building their dreams while balancing work, family, and all the things. I'm your host, Carly LeBlanc, a wife, mom, marketer, and your side hustling friend here to teach you how to grow a brand that works for you and not the other way around. Whether you're a side hustling pro or just starting out, this is your safe place for real talk, actionable strategies, and the encouragement you need to keep going. We're here to help you make progress and not perfection. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's build your dream one step at a time. Hello, and welcome back to the Side Hustler Podcast, the podcast for women entrepreneurs who are building businesses while working a 9-to-5. I am your host, Carly LeBlanc, and I am so excited to have you here today because we are going to be talking about systems. In today's episode, I am sitting down with one of the most expert in systems, Jen Skinner, the founder of Day-to-Day Assist, who helps service providers run smoother and more sustainable businesses behind the scenes. This episode is going to be for my side hustling women who are tired of just winging business, who are ready to stop running their business off of vibes, off of sticky notes all over the place, and really have a system in place to be more efficient, to show up more confident, and to really just operate business like a professional, like the CEO that you are. When I first heard about Jen through a mutual friend of ours, she told me about how amazing it was to sit down with Jen and to really iron out all the details of all the things that she does in her business, because she was deciding to hire a team as she was going to law school. And so I thought this was an amazing opportunity to sit down with Jen and to talk about businesses, because a lot of us are operating our businesses while working a full-time job. And so if you could have a system in place that allows you to be more efficient, that allows you to show up more confident, that really helps you to, when you're ready to start hiring and adding contractors to your team, it's not a hassle because you already have your SOPs in place, then this is going to be the episode for you, because she was dropping gems left and right during our coffee chat. And while I was on the call with her, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just confirmation that she needs to be here. So this episode is going to be full of real talk, practical system tips, and straight up just clarity. And I'm super excited because this is going to help you to be able to work smarter and not harder. So in this episode, you're going to learn the first step to take before setting up any tech tool in your business, the 3 essential systems every entrepreneur needs to grow and stay sane while operating their business. You're also going to learn how to build a client experience that keeps people coming back and referring more clients to your business. Also, simple ways to overcome the overwhelm of a system setup, even if you're not tech savvy. So if you are tuning in, make sure that you have some way of capturing some notes, because this is going to be jam-packed with strategies, with tips. So grab your notebook, pull up your notes app, because this one's going to be full of takeaways. Let's get into it. Before we dive into today's episode, I have something special for all of my side hustlers out there. Are you building a business while working a 9-to-5 and you're tired of wasting time on marketing strategies that don't actually move the needle? Then you're going to want to get plugged into my weekly newsletter. Every single week, I'm giving you the real behind-the-scenes scoop on what's actually working in marketing and business. No fluff, no gatekeeping. Just real strategies, insights I'm testing in my own business, and practical tips that you can apply right away. If you want to work smarter and not harder and finally start seeing momentum, then head over to cdcreativecoagency.com/newsletter and get locked in. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Hello, Jen, and welcome to the Side Hustler Podcast.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm super excited to have you on this episode, because when I did the episode with Chelsea, we were talking about how you helped her with her systems in order for her to be able to build her team for her business. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that would be so good to have her on here. And so we were able to connect on IG and get you here on the podcast. And so I'm super excited because even in our little coffee chat, like you were dropping a lot of gems, and I just felt like, oh, that would be so, so good. So I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Me too.
So I want you to take us back from when it first began. What inspired you to start your business, Day to Day Assist?
Yeah, so I was in college at the time in undergrad, and I at the time was working a couple of jobs. I was a associate at like a bookstore. So I was doing that. I was also braiding hair on the weekends, just trying to bring money in from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to one of my friends, and she was like, "Jen, I'm surprised you haven't started a business yet. You're really good with administrative work, and you should be doing that." And I was just like, okay, sure. So I started off my business as a virtual assistant, and I was working with people who sold products, people who offered services, just all types of business owners. And after a while of working with different people and kind of being in the back end of their business, I realized that my bread and butter, my passion is really operations and making sure things are running smoothly. So it evolved from there, and it is what it is today.
Yes. And that's such a niche specific like business, because you hear about the VAs, but VAs are typically like they do a lot of different running tasks for entrepreneurs. And so for you to really like find a lane of focusing specifically on systems, like that is absolutely amazing. And so I want to get into like, what do you see in most common business owners, or the issues that they face whenever it comes with them like actually implementing a proper system? Because some people think that, when you first get started, it's like you're just winging it. So how can you inspire someone at the beginning, like, okay, these are some mistakes that you should avoid, and this is why you should have systems instilled in your business?
I would say when you're first starting out, it is imperative to have systems, whether you are working a 9 to 5 or whether you're doing your business full time. And I say it not just because I'm a systems person, but when I started my business and I was working all those different jobs, I had to have something on the back end that was helping me send out email reminders, send out invoices and contracts, and really giving my clients a good experience, because I knew I didn't have the time to devote to that,
Mm-hmm.
outside of working all those other different jobs I was working. And I also feel like it really sets you apart. Every industry is saturated right now. There are so many photographers, so many people who do real estate, so many people in
Mm-hmm.
every industry. And what really sets you apart is not, I mean, there are so many people that do a really good job at what they do. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, you need to do a good job, but also what's going to set you apart is your experience. And
Mm.
people who have systems in their business, they look more legit. They feel more confident when they are promoting their service. And hey, this is how my service operates. These are the boundaries that I set so that you can get the best result for what you're paying for. It just
Mm-hmm.
sets a whole different tone and vibe for people working with
Mm-hmm.
you when you have something that's really clear on the back end of your business, and you don't end up burning yourself out because you don't look up 2 months down the line after working with all these clients and resenting the fact that you were staying up late to complete their service, or you took calls on days that you said you weren't going to take calls on. It keeps you as the CEO, it keeps you like having a positive relationship with your business and your clients. And it also helps them to perceive your business as an actual business and not just like a thing or a hobby.
Yeah, no, that's really good, because even when I was thinking to myself, with me also being a side hustling entrepreneur, it's imperative for you to have those things, because it's like at 2 o'clock at night, sometimes I'll get leads. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like no one should be waiting around for me to send them an email or a booking link or a confirmation whenever they land on my website, or even when like someone opts in into my mailing list. Like, I shouldn't be manually having to welcome them, hey, welcome to, and so I think about like the way to be efficient, because, and I feel like this is one thing that a lot of people don't think about, is like when you're starting a business and you have a full-time job, systems become your best friend. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because you already know that you're not working around the clock. You already know that you have 8 hours of the day committed to your full-time job. And so how is your business able to flow and to thrive and to move whenever you're not actually physically in front of the computer? And
Yep.
so that's why having like really good systems in place, whether that's you having, your booking sequence or your welcome sequence when someone, signs up for your mailing list, or what happens when someone books an appointment with you or a call with you, or how can they prepare. all of those things. Like those are the main systems that I would say are imperative. Of course you can become more robust where you're doing a lot of, elaborative things. But I think that even at the beginning, like really honing in on figuring out what that system looks like to where it can run on autopilot for you is key to your success and to your growth as an entrepreneur. Have you ever found yourself stuck on what to post or struggling to stay consistent on social media? I've been there, and that's exactly why I created this free guide called 30 Days of Done For You Social Media Prompts for Personal Brands. This guide is loaded with prompts to get your gears turning so you can have a gallery of content to create for your brand and never stress about what to post again. And you can grab it right now at cdcreativecoagency.com/content and start creating content that connects without the stress.
And another thing that I wanted to add there is like when you get off your 9 to 5, you're already tired from working all that time.
Yeah.
So you have to spend those next 3 to 4 hours that you want to spend on your business in the evenings or early in the mornings on things that are actually going to help you grow. And if you're so stuck in doing administrative work and trying to follow up with people and send out invoices and all this other stuff, you're not going to have any time to focus on your marketing, to focus on your sales, to focus on the things that actually make you money.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. So I want to talk about the first step that someone can take when they're new or when they're first starting their business, or even if they're in a place of growing their business. What is the first step that they should take to implementing systems?
Yeah, I would say the most important thing that you need to focus on before you start setting up any type of tech tools is honestly getting clear on your offer. When you have a really clear offer that spells out the exact deliverables, when they're going to be delivered to the client, how long it's going to take you, how long, like the overall timeline, and what result you're going to be getting for your client, the systems that you build are going to be centered around that offer. So for example, if you do micro locks, if you're, a lock specialist, you know that your offer needs to include, of course, you doing the client's hair. You might need to wash it. You might need to give them some type of kit so that they can do their retwist on their own. Like spell out everything that's going to be included in that offer to go out to your ideal client, and then build systems around that. So what do people need to know before they come and get their micro locks? Like, do they need to have a certain inch of hair, like 4 inches of hair? Or do they need to prepare their hair before they get there? Do they need to cut off all like their permed ends, or, just anything like that? And I feel like when you have a clear offer, it helps you to help your client to prepare. It helps you when you're delivering the service, and then it helps you afterwards, because in most services, there is some type of work that needs to be done afterwards to kind of see the main benefit from what it is that you're selling.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good, because I even think about also whenever I'm like visiting a service provider, I'm like, well, what do I need to do next? Or, do I need to wash my hair? Do I need to come blow dry? Like, what is it that I need to do? Like, how can I get to the place? Like, and I very seldomly find like, and I don't know if this is like with just Houston or what, but like sometimes whenever I'm booking like these services, like I'll book the appointment. Most of the time it's like at midnight or 1 o'clock when I'm scrolling on my phone. And then I'm thinking, like, okay, the confirmation is going to have everything like the lay of the land. But then like when I have to go and DM, or even if I have to go and find your numbers to see, ask my questions, because in the emails or whatever you sent after I booked my appointment, it's not there. And then having to wait for you to respond, it really just irritates me, because it's like, I'm trying to support you. Exactly. I'm trying to help you in your business, but like you can't even lay out the land for me in a professional manner to where it literally solves all of my problems. These are most of the time frequently asked questions, you know what I'm saying? So like, why not have some type of email document or, confirmation email, things to know before you go or something like that, So I just, add my little tidbit, because I feel like I got triggered there when you're talking about micro links.
Yeah. And then also on the flip side, like for the person delivering the service, you don't have a million questions coming from clients after they've booked. It's like this client can book on their own. And not only do they receive a confirmation that they've booked, but they also know the next steps. So they're not reaching out to you with an additional email, text, or call asking you questions, because they have everything that they need to prep for the service, to show up for the service, and then to see the result after the service. So the offer is where you start with creating your systems.
Yeah. And that's so good that you say that, because that brings me to my next question, where I wanted to talk about 3 essential systems that every business should have implemented into their business to run smoothly. So if you're starting from scratch, what do you feel are the 3 most essential systems that you should have set up?
I would say the first one is your client relationship management system. And we touched on that a little bit in the last question. But basically, you want to map out how you're going to work with your clients. Well, even before they become a client, you want to map out how you're going to maintain a relationship with people who are interested in working with you, who are working with you, and then who have already worked with you. So what does that journey look like? And some of this kind of gets into like the whole marketing experience. But from a system standpoint, like you said, for leads, are they being captured in a specific way? And then after they are captured, is there a structured way for them to just reach out to you? Some people are, DM me for more information or send me an email for more information. Everybody should be funneled into the same way to book a service, whether that's a call for you, or if you don't have time for calls, if it's just like a regular inquiry form that you're going to get back to, sooner rather than later. I would say within a couple of hours, if not automatically. And then after they reach out to inquire about the service, how are they onboarded? So how are you, like we said, like what do they need to prep for the service so that it's going to be successful and smooth running for the both of you all? And then delivering the service. So whether you are a hairstylist and the service takes a couple of hours, or whether you are an interior designer and the service takes a couple of months, how does that process look like? How are you maintaining that relationship with that client? How are you keeping them informed and engaged? And then once the service is over, how are you going to retain that client? Do you have anything in your business to keep them coming back? Are your offers structured to keep them coming back? So that's your first system. You're going to focus on how you're going to maintain the relationship with your clients. The next one is task management. So this kind of goes along with client relationship management systems, but you need to list out all of the things that happen from that you need to do to deliver this service. So this is more so for project-based type services. Like if you are someone who does like marketing strategy, or you do photography where you have to edit pictures later, or you do interior design where you're working with the client over an extended period of time, what tasks do you have to actually do? And I feel like sometimes they just live in our heads, but when you get booked out and when you have a lot more clients to juggle, you need to know like what have you done for certain clients and what have you not done for certain clients. And you need to have it mapped out so that you are not missing deadlines or forgetting to do important things that you said you would deliver in that service. So task management for your client, and then task management for yourself, because running your business is not just about working with clients. You have several different tasks, whether it's marketing, bookkeeping, legal things, legal things that you need to take care of. So there's just a ton of things that go into running the back end of your business. And you just need to have some type of tool or system to track the tasks that you need to do.
Y'all already know I'm all about working smarter and not harder, especially when it comes to marketing your brand. And if you're still relying only on social media to reach your audience, we need to fix that immediately. Social media is cute, but let's be real. The algorithm is unpredictable and your content is probably only reaching a small percentage of your followers. That's why I swear by email marketing, because when I send an email, I know 100% of my subscribers are getting my messages. And the best part, Flowdesk makes it ridiculously easy. You can send beautiful on-brand emails, automate your sequences, and even create landing pages without needing to be tech savvy. And because you're listening, I got you a deal. Use my code SIDEHUSTLE at checkout and you'll get 50% off your Flowdesk subscription for the next 12 months. So if you're ready to stop relying on algorithms and start building an email list that actually converts, try Flowdesk for free. And don't forget to use the code SIDEHUSTLE at checkout for that exclusive 50% off.
The third system that you need to have is team systems. And you need to have these before you actually get a team, which is odd to say. If you want to run your business, not like a side hustle, or if you want to actually eventually get to the point where your business is your full-time gig, or even if you don't, you need something prepared so that when you do hire help, whether it is someone who's just coming in for a couple of hours a week or a full-time person, you need some systems on the back end so that you can prepare for having a team, or even prepare your business for being able to have some type of help at any point. So what that looks like is making sure that you are documenting how you're doing things. It doesn't need to be super robust. You don't need to make a 30-page or 60-page guide on how you deliver things, but you need something documented so that when you do ask for help, you have something for that person to reference.
Yeah. Those are all good. I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, let me see what she's going to say. So I can see where I am in the systems ecosystem, I guess you could say. But that's so good because I think about like all of these things that I have moving in my business and things where I feel like I could be better in, things where I feel like I spend a lot of time on that could be automated, things that I feel are tedious tasks that I don't have to manually do. And so just hearing you talking about like even the task management, I feel like that's really an area where I'm really, really wanting to get better with in my business because I know how, you know, things move and shake and groove. But then if you're moving to step 3 where you're hiring a team or you need help, you know, how is it that you're able to relate to, you know, a person like this is my process for like my podcast editing, or this is my process for even like content that I shoot for my clients. And so I have it in my head, but I definitely need to do better with getting it on paper just so that I can be more efficient and so you can maintain consistency, because that's another thing that a lot of people don't really like to experience is when you have 2 different clients and one experience is different than the other. And then next thing you know, like, you know, people are referring you clients, but then you don't have a consistent system. And so it just causes all kinds of issues down the line. And it doesn't allow you to be as effective as a business owner. So that's really, really good. So I want to move into how we can improve our client experience with systems. And so we did kind of talk about a little bit about some of the most common mistakes that people make when it comes to client experience and how having a better system in place can help you to improve your client experience. But I want to talk about like the systems that we can set up to retain clients, because I am a strong believer that when you have a client that comes a part of your ecosystem and they pay you for a service and you do really well, then they will continue to come back for you for whatever service it is that you're providing, which then if you continue to do that over time, you won't actually have to spend as much time and effort as marketing your services, because you'll have clients that are always coming back to you and are always using you or always referring you. So I want to talk about how can some businesses set up these processes to help them to retain clients and build long-term relationships rather than reinventing the wheel and having to start up from scratch with new clients every single time?
That's such a great question. And I feel like not tooting my own horn here, but I'm the perfect person to answer it, because I would say 50% of the projects that I work on every year are clients coming back to me for.
Yes.
So give a couple of different things. The first thing that you need to retain clients is make sure you have an offer suite that allows you to retain clients. So a couple of examples of this. One, let's go back to the hairstylist example. If you offer starter locks and you're trying to retain clients, but the only thing you offer is starter locks, then nobody will ever need to start their locks more than once. So your offers aren't even structured for you to have clients coming back to you, because you only offer something that they would need one time. So if you want to retain clients and you are doing that as your service, then start doing retwists or start doing lock maintenance so that your clients, once they establish something with you, they can come back and get something different. Another example of this is, I'll go with your industry. If you help people create content, you're a photographer, a content strategist, something like that, and the only thing that you're offering right now is a photo shoot. Typically, people who get like a big, robust brand photo shoot package might get that once or twice a year. If you want clients coming back to you more, how can you provide something for them that they would want to come back for more than a couple of times a year? So if you also have the skill of creating content, is there a content creation package that you can help them every month that they can purchase from you? So yes, we'll shoot your content, but now you have me every month to create it and actually post it for you. Or another example would be, if you have that content that you create for them at their brand photo shoot, how can you offer some type of strategy session so that they know how to use their content and get clients from it moving forward? So having an offer suite that is positioned for clients to come back is the first step. The next step to retaining clients is making sure that your client experience is amazing. I have worked with several people who I would never go back to, even though they have enough offers for me to come back to, because my client experience was trash. You got one time with me, okay? If that experience is not good, baby, I'll find somebody else. I will find somebody else quick, fast, in a hurry. And don't let nobody ask me how the experience went, because I'm telling the 100% truth. Okay. You just really need to focus on making sure that your client experience is great, because I mean, that's just a natural incentive for people to want to work with you again. Like, ooh, this was the best blank that I've ever received, whether it be photos or interior design or systems or hair. Like, this was the best thing I've ever received, and I'm going to go back the next time I need this. The third thing is reminding your clients to come back, and you can automate this. So going back to the content or photographer type of example, if you know that people need photo shoots every 6 months, for the past 3 years, you've only seen your clients one time, why aren't you sending out reminders every 3 to 6 months, reminding them of why refreshing their photos or why refreshing their content library is so important? For example, I go to the dentist every 6 months, like you're supposed to. And I typically don't think, like, booking doctor's appointments and dentist appointments are not at the forefront of my mind throughout the year. It's just something like, oh crap, like I forgot to book my dentist appointment, and it might have been like 7 months go by. But my dentist sends me text messages every 6 months telling me it's time to book your appointment. We haven't seen you in 6 months. And that, for me, reminds me, oh yeah, I need to be at the dentist next month because I haven't got a cleaning in the past 6 months. So remind your clients, and you can automate that, whether it be through text messages or some type of email sequence that you set them up in. And your clients are not annoyed by you reminding them that they need you again, especially if you did a good job the first time.
Yeah, that is so good. That is really, really good. Okay, real quick, if you've been showing up on socials and still not getting the results you want, I want you to listen up, because I'm offering free social media audits exclusively for my Side Hustler listeners. If you're not sure if your page is actually attracting the right clients, or if your content feels all over the place, or you just want to make sure that you're on the right track when it comes to building your brand, I got you. These audits are where I go in and I look at your page and I give you the personalized feedback on what's working, what needs to shift, and how to start creating content that actually converts. I'll also drop a few tips and strategies that most people aren't sharing, because I want to see you win. And the best part about it, it's free, my friend. So head over to cdcreativecoagency.com/audit and secure your audit today. And I was thinking about even the dentist, like, yeah, my dentist texts me like religiously. And I've even gotten to a point where, like, before I leave my appointment, I just go ahead and schedule it 6 months in advance. And that allows me to just know that that's something I don't have to worry about. So, I mean, either way, if you are the type of person, you know, that books in advance right then and there, or you just wait till you receive your reminders, either way, those are both two separate examples of things that you can implement in your business, because you just basically see what works for you as a consumer. Like, you know, and I think that that's something that we kind of don't really take advantage of as entrepreneurs. It's like, what would you do as a consumer? Like, what would you prefer as a consumer? Like, we're always trying to figure out, oh, well, I don't know if they would like this or they would like this. What do you like? What do you like to receive? Whenever you experience like white glove service or red carpet service, like, what does that look like, you know? And so even in my business, like with my content days, I've been really trying to figure out ways to like elevate the experience. So in addition to me, you know, planning and doing all of the things for you, like you don't have to book your studio. You don't have to, you know, figure out what you're going to pose and do all the things. Like, it's literally you just show up and we take everything from there. But how can we take it another level? Like, wouldn't it be so dope if you could just go to a content day and someone's there to do your makeup and someone's there that's like, you know, getting your clothes together and all the things, like, you know? And so I just think about like different ways, and it doesn't have to be, you know, anything crazy expensive like that, right? It could be something so small, like, oh, when I go to her content day, like she already has my Starbucks order. Okay, Starbucks is like $5. Like, let's be real, you know? And so I think about different ways. I'm always constantly thinking about different ways to elevate your client experience, but then also that helps you to really be able to stand out in the marketplace, you know? Whereas if you have like these stylists, all like 3 different stylists, and one's just like, I'm just doing your hair. But then another person's like, oh, you come here, I got you some wine and some snacks. And then if another person's like, oh girl, like I got a steam treatment, you know, use my Wi-Fi, like, you know, wine, snacks, all the things, like you're more than likely going to book, you know, the third stylist because of the experience. And so even with that, sometimes people are willing to invest in those services because they know that that's what they're getting. But if they're, you know, just getting bare bone minimum and it's just very like, you know, black and white, then you're going to get black and white type of returns of clients. You know, nothing's wrong with black and white, but I'm just saying, if you want everything on autopilot, you might want to try to figure out ways to really elevate your client experience. So that's really good.
I agree. And I definitely think that surprise and delight is something that everybody should bake into their offers, whether you're sending your clients a gift, and they have websites out here that will package up a gift box that you can put, you know, popcorn and tea and chocolates and pens and notebooks in, and just pay for it to get sent to your client. And it's packaged all pretty with a personalized note. You could do stuff like that. Like you said, you can have Starbucks and lunch ordered if the service is going to take all day. Just taking the different things off your client's plate, depending on the level of offer that you're doing. Of course, if you have something that's a little bit lower priced, then it doesn't make sense for you to order lunch if they're just going to be there with you for an hour. No. So just think about like, it doesn't. So just think about, you know, based on your ideal client, and I mean, the types of clients that you work with and the type of offer that you have, how can I surprise and delight this client for wherever they are at whatever level of investment that they've spent on my service?
Yes. So good. So I want to talk about how we can overcome the system setup overwhelm, because a lot of people are like, okay, Jen, you know, I hear you talking about these systems, but I am not tech savvy. So how can people figure out how to start setting up their systems without being overwhelmed with the tech? Like, what would you recommend them to do to get started with building out their systems in their businesses as a solo entrepreneur?
Okay, great question. I would start with the mindset shift. So it is way more complicated for you to continue working the way you are working than it is to set up a tech tool. Let's just make sure we establish that. Just for example, or just for context, let's say you're spending the couple of hours that you do have every day to work on your business just in a whole bunch of administrative work, going back and forth with clients. You never really have time to move your business forward or focus on things that are revenue generating. Let's say that's what your work week looks like. It might take you 5 hours to set up a tech tool and have it running for the rest of the year, where you can eliminate at least 5 hours of what you're currently doing from your work week every single week. So that's 5 hours that you gain back to, you know, grow your business and focus on the things that you should be focused on. So that's the first thing. It's a lot harder to continue doing what you've been doing than it is to create a system. The next thing is, I feel like a lot of people feel stuck because they don't have a process mapped out. So for example, a lot of people start off by saying, what tech tool should I use? And that should be your last question. Your first question should be, what's my process? What's my offering? What's my process? If you are in the interior design industry and you know that your clients book a call with you and then they end up having to pay a deposit and sign a contract, and then you start off with a kickoff call where you gather all the information about what they like or what kind of design ideas they have, and then you spend another week getting a mood board together, you represent it to them, you order all the furniture, all the decor, all the furniture, whatever it is that you're ordering for their house, they get it, you get it delivered, and then you go over there and you set everything up for them so that it's all pretty. If you know that's what your process is, then what kind of system would help you to deliver that in a seamless way? It sounds like you're going to need something that would allow clients to book with you, that would allow clients to pay an invoice and sign a contract, that would allow clients to see some type of timeline or have some type of portal. That weeds out about half of these tech tools because most of them don't even have that, like all in one. So once you know what you're offering, how you're going to deliver it, then find a tool and research something that is going to allow you to deliver that. And then once you have it narrowed down, do the free trial. A lot of these tools offer like 7 days of, you can try this platform for 7 days for free and cancel it before they charge you. But test it out and see if it's something that's intuitive or easy for you to use. You don't have to build something so complicated just because somebody else is using it, especially if you're going to be the main one running it. So if one tech tool is really hard for you, but the other one is not, and they both have the same features that you need, then go with the one that's easier. And I would say if you're not going to like purchase any templates or resources or strategy for anybody to help you with how to set it up, the tech platforms do a really good job of making sure you're educated on how to use them. Just think about like from their perspective, they want people to use their product and they want people to feel comfortable using their product. So they have so many tutorials. A lot of them even have courses on how to set up your Honeybook, how to set up your Dubsado, how to set up whatever you're using, Flowdesk, whatever it is that you want to use. They have so many resources on how to use it. So take the time to learn the platform that you've decided on using and set it up and then let it run from there.
Yeah. So good. So good. I like the whole idea of reverse engineering. It's like really just write down, whiteboard it, pull out a brain dump and like create a workflow. Okay, this is what happens, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then basically reverse engineering to figure out what systems you need to handle at different processes or different steps of your process. That's really good. Okay, Jen. Okay, so I'm excited for this because I've never done this before. Okay. I wanted to do some rapid fire questions. So I want you to think about the first thing that pops into your mind when I ask you the questions. I'm not going to give you too many because, this is completely off the top of my head. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is, what is the best tool for organizing client projects?
It depends on what kind of industry you're in, but I would say if you are like an online service provider or anyone in the creative industry, I would say Honeybook or Dubsado are great for organizing your client projects. If you're a lawyer, they have Lawmatics. If you are a hairstylist or like a spa owner, they have Acuity. There is just different things like that. It depends on your industry though.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. Okay. What is the automation that you can't live without?
Automation I cannot live without in my own business is that automation after the client pays and signs their contract to receive the next steps, because they do not have that like panic attack after they paid and they know like, okay, like this is exactly what I need to do next. And they're not emailing me like, hey, I paid you 5 minutes ago. What do I do now that I paid you all this money?
That is really good because I feel like that's me. Like especially if it's a higher ticket product, I'm like, okay, I ain't getting no email. Like I need the confirmation right now. Like, did it go through? Did you just take my card information and just leave me out here hanging? No,
don't let it be on PayPal because I will not get you.
That is so good. Okay. Next question. Oh, what's your most effective time blocking strategy?
I really like 2 things. One is the Pomodoro. It's like a calculator or timer. And you can work for like 30 minutes on and then take a 5-minute break, or 60 minutes on, take a 15-minute break. That keeps me focused because I'm always like, I'm competitive in my brain. So if I see a timer and it's giving me 50 minutes to do something, it's like, oh, I'm going to beat this calendar. Like, I'm going to beat this timer. So I would say that. And then the other thing is making sure that you know what to focus on as a CEO. So even if your business is small, even if you just started out, you're still a CEO. Okay. You have a business to run and you have things that you need to focus on. So making sure that you are really clear on what your priority is for the quarter, whether that is growth or whether you already have a bunch of clients and you really just need to clean up the way that you deliver your service. If that's your priority for the quarter, then how can you block your day so that for X amount of time during each of your days, you are prioritizing or working towards whatever your goal or your priority is?
Yeah. That's really good. And I thought about doing the Pomodoro because I hear people talk about it a lot. And I feel like that probably will work for me because even like, okay, this is me probably telling to myself, but like whenever I put like a address in the GPS and it says, you're going to get there at 6:03. I'm like, I'm going to get there at 6 o'clock. Like, so it makes sense. It makes sense. I feel like that probably would work for me because I am very competitive. Like if I'm like, okay, I got 60 minutes, I'm going to knock out this task in 60 minutes for sure. Like I know for a fact that I'm going to do it. rather than me just kind of going in and just like, oh, I'm gonna take my time, or no time constraints on it. And I feel like that's really good for people that, don't have time, like people that are like us who are doing all kinds of things. So really good. Okay. One last question. Let's say, oh, what is the biggest mistake that you made when setting up your systems?
I would say it's more of an offer mistake than a systems mistake, but it kind of bled into the systems, is adding stuff into my offer that my clients didn't ask for and that didn't contribute to the actual result that I wanted to get for them. So like in my efforts to make such a great offer, I was adding on all of these extra things like, oh, you get access to this portal and you get access to this. And it's just like, my clients don't even look at the portal.
Yeah.
So I was creating all these extra steps for myself and doing all this fancy stuff, and it really didn't make sense for the type of client that I was serving or what they were. It didn't contribute to their result. So I feel like simplifying that helped, but that was the biggest mistake I made.
Yeah, that's so good. And I know someone needed to hear that, because sometimes we do end up making these offers and we're like, this is so solid. But it's like when you're a consumer and you're looking like, okay, I'm not going to use half of this stuff. Like that would really change the trajectory of somebody really deciding to purchase your product versus not,
Exactly.
Really good. Really good. Well, that's amazing. Before we close, I did want to give you some time to give us one piece of advice that you would give a business owner who is struggling with their systems or just want to make better systems in their business and don't know where to start. What's one piece of advice you would give to them?
My one piece of advice would be to survey your clients. If you're just getting started and you've worked with a couple of people and you're unsure of whether or not, or even if you haven't worked with anybody and you have people that you'd be interested in working with, reach out to them and ask, hey, do you have time for us to hop on a 10-minute call, or can you fill out this 5-minute survey and get data? You don't really know what's going to work and what isn't going to work when it comes. There are certain things that just always work, like an automated email reminder. Those always work. But when it comes to structuring your offer and making sure that you have features within your offer and features within the way that you deliver your service that people actually like, the best thing to do is ask the people that you are serving, have served, or that you want to serve. And always collecting feedback from the people that you have served. Don't just ask them to give you a rating from 1 to 5 of how great your service was, or don't just ask them to sing your praises. Ask them the hard stuff. What did you not like about this process? How could I have made this better? That feedback is going to get you further faster when it comes to building your systems or creating, something sustainable in the back end of your business than you would trying to figure it out on your own.
Yeah, so good. I love that. I really love that answer. Well, thanks so much, Jen, for joining us today. I did want to give you a brief moment to tell the people where they can connect with you, where they can learn more about your services and what you have to come down the pipeline. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say the way to connect with me is either website, daytodayassist.com, or on all social platforms, Day to Day Assist. Super easy, super simple to remember. Some things that you can gain. I do have a free quiz called the Profitable Systems Quiz. It's going to help you uncover where your business might be losing money, whether your business is losing money because you're inefficient or you're spending too much money on unnecessary tech fees, or you're missing out on client opportunities because your follow-up is poor or not as good as it could be. It's going to tell you exactly where your business is losing money. So that's a free resource that you can use. If you are wanting to have a little bit more support with creating systems for your business, and it's not something that you want to figure out on your own, you're a service provider who has already started your company, I do have the Operations Advisory. It's designed for solo service providers. You may have a VA, you may not have a VA, who are consistently booking clients or have booked their first couple of clients, and you're ready to improve the way that your business runs, and then eventually get to a point where you're delegating and being able to grow sustainably with the right systems and team. The advisory is open for you. It's going to give you personalized support and resources to help you cut 20 hours a month of client and admin work from your calendar without slowing down your sales, losing clients, or worrying about the back end of your business not being able to run without you. So that's something that you can join when the time comes for you to create those systems in the back end of your business.
Yes, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you. So yes, make sure that you check out the operations advisory. Make sure that you definitely check Jen out and follow her on all socials. Thank you so much, Jen, for joining us today. It was such an honor having you here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Side Hustler Podcast. I hope you're leaving here today feeling inspired and ready to take your next step. If you love this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with another side hustler who needs to hear it. And don't forget to connect with us on Instagram at Carly Dorlin. I'd love to hear about your side hustling journey. Remember, you're doing better than you think, and your dreams are so worth it. Until next time, keep hustling, sis. You got this.